Welcome to English Together. Learn real English with Lina and Sam.
Hi, Sam. How are you today?
Hey, Lina, I'm good. Just a little tired from work, but happy to be here.
Same here. But I'm excited because today we are talking about something fun.
Oh, yeah, fun is always good. What is it?
We're going to talk about hobbies and free time activities. The things people do when they are not working or studying.
Ah, yes. Everyone has something they like to do. It's a great topic for English practice.
Exactly. And it's also very useful. People often ask about hobbies when they meet new friends.
True, and talking about hobbies can start a friendly conversation easily.
So let's start with the basics. Sam, what's your favorite hobby?
Hmm, I would say I like reading books, especially mysteries. What about you?
I love painting. It relaxes me after a long day.
That's nice, and both hobbies are very common. You can also say that you like drawing, writing, or even digital art.
Right. It's good to give examples when someone asks about your hobby. For example, if I say I like painting, I can add, I usually paint landscapes or animals.
Yes, that makes the conversation more interesting. People like to know details.
Exactly. And don't forget to ask the other person about their hobby.
Right, like what do you like to do in your free time? Or do you have any hobbies?
Perfect. And you can also ask more specifically, like, do you like sports or do you enjoy music?
Speaking of sports, I like playing football on weekends.
Oh, nice. I like swimming. It's refreshing and keeps me active.
That's great. You can also say things like, I enjoy cycling or I like jogging in the morning.
Yes, and when talking about hobbies, you can also mention how often you do them. For example, I play football twice a week, or I paint every evening.
True, it helps people understand how important this hobby is to you.
Exactly. And sometimes you can explain why you like it. For example, I enjoy painting because it helps me relax, or I like football because it's fun and I can meet friends.
Yes, giving reasons makes your answer longer and more natural.
Another thing is hobbies that involve other people. For example, playing team sports, joining a dance class, or going hiking with friends.
Right, you can say, I play basketball with my friends every Saturday, or we go hiking with my family.
And for solo hobbies, you can say, I enjoy reading alone in the evening, or I like painting by myself at home.
Exactly. Some people prefer hobbies alone, some with friends, both are okay.
And you can also talk about new hobbies you want to try, like I want to learn guitar, or I'd like to try yoga.
That's a great idea. It makes the conversation more interesting and gives the other person a chance to ask questions.
Yes, and it's always nice to show excitement. For example, I'm really excited to try painting classes next month.
Or you can say, I'm looking forward to joining a cooking workshop.
Exactly. Let's talk about some common hobbies.
Sure, there are sports, music, art, reading, gardening, cooking, dancing, traveling, and even watching movies or series.
Right. And for each hobby, you can give more details. For example, for music, I play the guitar, or I like listening to jazz music.
Or for sports, I go running every morning, or I play badminton twice a week.
And for reading, I like reading novels, especially mysteries, or I enjoy science fiction books.
Yes, and you can also talk about hobbies you did in the past, like I used to play piano, or I used to collect stamps when I was a child.
Oh, yes, talking about past hobbies is very useful too. People love to know about childhood interests.
And it can lead to more questions like, why did you stop? Or do you want to start again?
Exactly. Hobbies are a great topic to keep a conversation going.
Also, talking about free time is similar. You can say, in my free time, I usually read books or watch TV.
Or I enjoy cooking or going for a walk when I have free time.
And you can even combine hobbies and free time activities, like I like painting in my free time, or I play football on weekends.
Yes, and you can ask about free time too. What do you usually do in your free time?
Or how do you like to spend your weekends?
Perfect. And you can also use time expressions to make it more natural. Like in the evening, I like reading, or on Sundays, I usually go hiking.
That's a good point. time expressions make your English sound more complete.
And you can also use phrases like I often, I sometimes, or I rarely. For example, I often play football, or I rarely watch TV.
Yes, and you can also use expressions like I enjoy, or I love, or I'm interested in.
That's right. For example, I enjoy painting landscapes, or I'm interested in photography.
And when someone asks you about hobbies, you can respond naturally. I really like swimming. It helps me relax.
Or I enjoy cooking. I try new recipes every week.
Another tip is to talk about hobbies you do with friends. For example, I go cycling with my friends on weekends, or we often play board games together.
And hobbies you do alone, I enjoy reading alone in my room, or I like drawing in my free time.
You can also describe your skill level. I'm a beginner at painting, or I'm quite good at chess.
Or I've been learning guitar for 2 years, or I'm learning how to cook new dishes.
And don't forget to ask the other person about their hobbies. For example, what hobbies do you enjoy?
Or do you have any hobbies you like to do every week?
It's a great way to keep the conversation going and learn new words.
And when talking about hobbies, you can also share how they make you feel. For example, playing football makes me happy, or painting helps me relax.
Yes, emotions and feelings add depth to your conversation.
You can also talk about hobbies you tried but didn't enjoy. For example, I tried skiing once, but I didn't like it.
Or I joined a dance class, but it was too difficult for me.
It's good to be honest and natural. People will understand and even share their experiences.
And you can compare hobbies too. I prefer painting to drawing, or I like swimming more than running.
That's very practical. It helps you express opinions and compare things in English.
And you can use simple phrases like I like, I don't like, I prefer, or I enjoy.
Perfect. And don't forget to use connectors to extend your sentences, like I like reading because it helps me relax, or I enjoy cooking and also baking.
Exactly. Connectors make your English sound smoother and more natural.
Another idea is to talk about seasonal hobbies. For example, in winter, I enjoy skiing, or in summer, I like swimming.
Or I usually go hiking in spring, or I like going to the park in autumn.
And you can also talk about hobbies with technology, like I like playing video games, or I enjoy watching online tutorials.
Or I like learning photography online, or I enjoy joining online cooking classes.
Talking about hobbies can also lead to talking about future plans, like I want to learn guitar next month, or I plan to join a tennis class.
Or I hope to travel more and try new activities.
That's a great way to practice future tense naturally.
And when you describe hobbies, you can also talk about frequency. For example, I swim 3 times a week, or I read books every evening.
Or I play football twice a month, or I go painting classes every weekend.
You can also mention location, like I play football at the park, or I go swimming at the pool.
Or I paint at home, or I read books in the library.
Talking about hobbies is really practical. You can use it in school, work, or meeting new people.
Exactly. It's one of the easiest topics to start a friendly conversation.
And it gives you a lot of vocabulary for real-life situations.
We should also talk about group hobbies, like board games, team sports, or group classes.
Yes, you can say I play volleyball with my friends, or we do yoga classes together.
And for individual hobbies, I enjoy painting alone, or I like running by myself in the morning.
Talking about hobbies is also a way to practice descriptive language.
For example, instead of saying I like music, you can say I love listening to jazz music in the evening.
Or I enjoy reading mystery books before bed.
Yes, it makes your English more interesting and specific.
And you can also ask, do you like indoor or outdoor activities?
Or do you prefer physical activities or quiet hobbies?
Those questions make the conversation more dynamic.
And finally, you can always give advice or share tips. Like, if you want to start a hobby, try something simple first, or it's better to do it regularly.
Yes, practical tips make the conversation useful and real.
That's a lot of ideas. Talking about hobbies and free time is really endless.
Yes, and practicing it in English helps you talk about yourself naturally.
Sam, let's talk about hobbies that are a little unusual or unique.
Oh, like what?
Well, some people enjoy things like bird watching, collecting coins, or making models.
Ah, yes, those are interesting. And even if your hobby is unusual, you can still talk about it naturally.
Exactly. You can say, I enjoy collecting coins from different countries, or I like observing birds in the park.
And you can also explain why. Like, I like collecting coins because I love learning about history, or I enjoy bird watching because it's relaxing and quiet.
Right. Giving reasons always makes the conversation longer and more natural.
Another thing is creative hobbies. For example, writing stories, making crafts, or photography.
Yes. For photography, you can say, I like taking photos of nature, or I enjoy capturing moments with my camera.
And for writing, I like writing short stories, or I enjoy keeping a diary every day.
Crafts are fun too. I like making handmade cards, or I enjoy knitting scarves for my friends.
Yes, and for hobbies like these, you can also talk about how often you do them and what tools you use.
Like, I knit every evening and I use wool and knitting needles, or I write every morning using my notebook.
Exactly. Adding details makes your English more descriptive and professional.
Let's move on to active hobbies. Sports are very common.
Right. Football, basketball, tennis, running, cycling, all very useful to talk about.
And you can also talk about your level or experience. For example, I'm a beginner at tennis, or I've been running for 2 years.
Yes, and talking about your hobbies in English helps you practice verbs and expressions. For example, I play, I go, I do, I enjoy, I like.
Exactly. Let's give some examples. I play basketball twice a week, or I go cycling on weekends.
Or I do yoga every morning, or I enjoy swimming in the pool.
Another tip is to use frequency words. For example, often, sometimes, rarely, usually.
Right. I usually paint in the evening, or I sometimes go hiking with friends.
Yes, frequency words make your English more natural.
And hobbies are also a good way to practice time expressions, like in the morning, in the afternoon, on weekends, in the evening.
For example, on Sundays, I usually go hiking, or in the evening, I like reading a book.
Perfect. And let's talk about social hobbies, like meeting friends, playing games together, joining clubs.
Yes, you can say, I play board games with my friends, or we meet every Friday for chess night.
Or I join a painting class with others, or we go to a cooking workshop together.
And social hobbies are great because they help you practice English with other people too.
True. You can ask questions like, do you like playing games with friends? Or do you enjoy attending workshops?
Exactly. And you can also talk about hobbies that are relaxing. For example, listening to music, meditating, gardening, or watching movies.
Yes, you can say, I enjoy listening to music in my free time, or I like watching movies on the weekend.
Or I find gardening relaxing, or I like to meditate for 10 minutes every day.
And hobbies can be combined too, like I enjoy cycling and listening to podcasts at the same time.
Or I like painting while listening to classical music.
That's very practical, and when someone asks about your hobbies, it's good to give examples.
For instance, I like reading. Recently, I read a mystery novel. Or I enjoy cooking. Last week, I made pasta with vegetables.
Yes, examples make your answer longer and more interesting.
And you can also mention places. For example, I go running in the park, or I enjoy painting at home.
Or I swim at the pool near my house, or I play football at school every Friday.
Let's talk about travel-related hobbies. Some people enjoy exploring new cities, visiting museums, or trying new foods.
Right. You can say, I like traveling. Last year I visited Italy, or I enjoyed trying new restaurants in my city.
Or I love visiting museums on weekends, or I like taking photographs when I travel.
Travel hobbies are very practical because you can also practice past tense while talking about them.
Yes, for example, I visited London last summer, or I went hiking in the mountains last weekend.
And you can also talk about future plans, like I plan to travel next month, or I want to learn photography.
That's a good point. Talking about hobbies helps you practice present, past, and future tenses naturally.
Exactly. And you can also share preferences. For example, I prefer painting to drawing, or I like playing football more than basketball.
Or I enjoy swimming more than jogging. Or I like reading novels more than watching movies.
Using more than is very practical in daily conversations.
Another tip is to talk about hobbies with seasons or weather. For example, I like skiing in winter, or I enjoy swimming in summer.
Or I often go hiking in spring, or I like going to the park in autumn.
And for hobbies with friends, you can say, I play volleyball with my friends on weekends, or we often go bowling together.
Yes, and if someone asks about indoor hobbies, you can say, I enjoy playing chess at home, or I like cooking in my kitchen.
Or I watch movies in my living room, or I read books in my bedroom.
And if someone asks about outdoor hobbies, you can say, I like cycling in the park, or I enjoy jogging in the morning.
Or I play football on the school field, or I go hiking in the mountains.
You can also describe how your hobbies make you feel. For example, playing football makes me happy, or painting helps me relax.
Or reading novels makes me curious, or swimming makes me feel refreshed.
Sharing feelings is very natural in conversations.
And sometimes you can mention challenges, like I'm learning to play guitar, but it's difficult, or I'm trying to improve my drawing skills.
Yes, it makes your conversation honest and interesting.
And you can also talk about hobbies you tried but didn't like. For example, I tried pottery, but I didn't enjoy it. Or I went skiing once, but it was too hard.
That's useful too. People like hearing real experiences.
And remember, hobbies are great for starting friendly conversations. You can always ask, what hobbies do you enjoy? Or how do you like to spend your free time?
Or do you prefer indoor or outdoor activities? Or do you like sports or creative hobbies?
And then you can continue the conversation naturally by sharing your own hobbies and experiences.
Exactly. Hobbies and free time are one of the easiest topics to talk about with friends, classmates, or colleagues.
And practicing this topic in English helps you feel ready for real conversations anytime. Sam, we talked about so many hobbies already, but what about learning new skills in your free time?
That's a great point. Some people enjoy learning languages, cooking, or even playing an instrument.
Yes. For example, you could say, I'm learning Spanish in my free time, or I enjoy practicing the piano every evening.
And for cooking, you can say, I like trying new recipes, or I enjoy baking cakes on weekends.
Exactly. And talking about skills also gives you a chance to use words like practice, improve, learn, try, and enjoy.
Right. You could say, I'm trying to improve my painting skills, or I practice chess every weekend.
And if someone asks how long you've been doing it, you can say, I've been learning guitar for 3 months, or I've been swimming since last summer.
That's very natural in conversation. People always like hearing how long someone has been practicing something.
And you can also share your progress, like, I can play a few songs on the guitar now, or I can make a delicious pasta by myself.
Yes, and that encourages others to share their experiences too.
Sam, we also should mention group hobbies, activities like playing in a football team, joining a book club, or attending a cooking class.
Right. For example, I play in a football team every Saturday, or I go to a photography club once a week.
And you can also describe what you do in these group activities. We practice passing the ball, or we discuss a new book every month.
Group hobbies are also great because you meet new people and practice your English naturally.
And even hobbies like volunteering can be included. You could say, I help at a local animal shelter on weekends, or I volunteer to teach children to read.
That's excellent. Volunteering is both practical and a way to talk about your free time meaningfully.
Now let's talk about technology-related hobbies. Many people enjoy playing video games, coding, or editing videos.
Yes, you could say, I enjoy playing video games after school, or I like creating short videos in my free time.
And coding is very interesting to talk about. I'm learning to code using Python, or I practice coding every evening.
And technology hobbies also let you introduce equipment and apps. For example, I use a computer to design websites, or I use an app to learn music.
Exactly. Adding details makes your English more descriptive and professional.
Another idea is outdoor hobbies beyond sports, gardening, hiking, or birdwatching.
Yes, I enjoy hiking in the mountains, or I like gardening in my backyard.
And you can share what you grow or see. I grow tomatoes and herbs, or I enjoy watching birds like sparrows and pigeons.
That makes your conversation richer. People love hearing specific examples.
And even casual hobbies are important, like watching TV, listening to podcasts, or scrolling through social media.
Yes, you can say, I enjoy listening to podcasts about history, or I watch documentaries in my free time.
Or I like watching comedy shows to relax. Or I scroll through social media for 30 minutes in the evening.
It's also nice to mention how hobbies make you feel. For example, reading makes me calm, or playing football makes me happy.
Exactly. Sharing feelings adds a personal touch. Cooking makes me proud when I try new recipes, or painting relaxes me after work.
Sam, what about talking about hobbies with friends or family? That's very practical.
Yes, you can say, I play board games with my friends on weekends, or I go swimming with my family every Sunday.
And you can add locations. We play volleyball at the beach, or we have movie nights at home.
And mentioning frequency helps too. I go hiking with friends twice a month, or I cook with my family every Friday.
Another good tip is to discuss plans and goals. I want to learn photography this year, or I plan to start a new hobby like pottery.
Yes, and you can also talk about challenges. Learning to play guitar is difficult, or I find cooking Italian food challenging but fun.
It's very natural to talk about things you struggle with. Everyone does.
And it keeps the conversation interesting. People like real experiences, not only perfect successes.
Sam, we should also mention hobbies that are seasonal.
Like swimming in summer or skiing in winter?
Exactly. You can say, I love swimming in the summer, or I enjoy skiing in the winter.
Or I go hiking in spring, or I like running in autumn because the weather is nice.
Seasonal hobbies are very practical because they come up naturally in daily conversations.
And don't forget travel-related hobbies, visiting museums, sightseeing, or exploring new cities.
Yes, I love visiting museums on weekends, or I enjoy walking around new cities and taking pictures.
And you can mention experiences. Last month, I went to Paris and saw the Eiffel Tower, or I tried new foods when I visited Italy.
Travel hobbies also help practice past and future tenses naturally.
And it's practical for English because you can share stories with friends. I have visited 3 countries, or I plan to visit Japan next year.
Another useful tip is combining hobbies, like I like jogging and listening to music, or I enjoy painting while watching the sunset.
That's very realistic. People often do more than one hobby at a time.
And don't forget, when someone asks about your free time, you can always respond with details. What, where, when, how often, and why.
Yes, for example, I like playing tennis with my friends at the park every Saturday because it's fun and healthy.
Or, I enjoy reading novels in the evening at home because it helps me relax.
And then you can ask them the same question. What hobbies do you enjoy? Or how do you spend your free time?
That keeps the conversation natural and friendly.
And hobbies are great because they're never boring topics. Almost everyone has something to share.
And practicing talking about hobbies in English will give you confidence in real-life conversations.
You don't need to memorize phrases. Just speak about things you enjoy. It will sound natural.
And remember, hobbies are also a way to practice all kinds of grammar: present, past, future, frequency words, and comparisons.
For example, I usually paint in the evening, but last night I drew in the morning. Next week, I plan to try a new technique.
Perfect. That's very practical English.
So, for our viewers, try talking about your hobbies in English today. Even a few sentences are enough.
And listen to your friends, ask questions, and share your experiences.
That's how English becomes a tool for real communication, not just words in a book.
And one final tip, keep it simple and clear. You don't need long sentences. Short sentences are easy to understand and very effective.
Yes, short sentences make conversation smooth and friendly.
So now we've covered hobbies for beginners, creative hobbies, active hobbies, group activities, travel, seasonal hobbies, and even technology hobbies.
Yes, that's a lot, but it's all very practical for everyday English.
And remember, talking about hobbies is also a great way to meet new people and make friends.
Absolutely. When you ask someone about their hobbies, you show interest in them.
And when they ask you, it's a chance to practice your English naturally. So let's end our discussion here.
Yes, we hope this gives you plenty of ideas for talking about hobbies and free time in English.
And we hope you will start practicing today. Even a little bit is enough.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends who are learning English.
See you in the next lesson.
Bye for now.
Yes. Like this video and share it with a friend.
Keep practicing. See you next time.